Hi ladies, sorry. I am on my way to drop Austin off at daycare and then I'm going to go into work for a little bit. So I thought I would do a quick update because a lot has been happening since my pregnancy announcement video. So basically we'll go all the way back. So on September 10th is when I took my first positive pregnancy test. Which I told you guys in that video, it was only 7 DPO. So I was a little bit confused because I know it's really early to get a positive. But I know for a fact when I conceived because Nick and I were only able to BD twice in that time frame. So, and, you know, some people are saying, you know, well, maybe you didn't ovulate when you thought you did, but I'm positive because literally we were so busy within that whole month that we only got to BD twice. So there's only 2 days where I could have gotten pregnant. So anyway, I took my positive pregnancy test on the 10th. Well, on the 17th I started bleeding. And it wasn't just a little bit of blood, it was a lot of blood. And the cramping was so bad that I had to sit in the hot tub. And I just felt like I was dying. Literally, I felt like I was, I mean, I've never been in that much pain before. So, pretty much I made my peace with the fact that I was miscarrying because I've miscarried before and it felt like that. So, anyway, I was really upset about it. You know, very disappointed. And after my period ended, well, it lasted about 4 days. Very, very heavy period. So, before that, I'm sorry, I'm like all over the place. Before my period started, like I said, I took the test on the 10th. Well, on the 12th, I went in to get my blood drawn. And my HCG levels were only 12. So not high at all. I mean, I was barely pregnant. As a matter of fact, they were a little skeptical to even call me pregnant. So the lady said, come back in 48 hours and we'll redraw you. So on the 14th, I went in and they redrew my levels again and they were still 12. Right? So I mean, she said you can expect to miscarry. The levels are supposed to double every 48 hours and yours haven't changed at all. So, you can go ahead and expect to miscarry any day now, which made me really upset. Oh my God, traffic is horrible. Okay, so, anyway, I started bleeding on the 17th, which is exactly a week after I found out that I was pregnant. Very upset about it. So my period lasted 4 days, and, all of my pregnancy symptoms went away. I mean, my boobs weren't sore anymore. Every pregnancy symptom that I had completely went away. So, that was that. I was like, you know what, I'm not pregnant anymore. We're just gonna have to try again. But when I got my period, when I was miscarrying, I did not take the Clomid. So, you know, I figured we would just wait one whole cycle and then try again. So, about a day after my period ended, I had 3 days off. Well, the whole 3 days that I was off, I slept, and I mean, I literally didn't get out of bed, and I attributed that to being depressed that I was, you know, that I had miscarried again. So, yesterday morning, I woke up, and I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I took a pregnancy test, and given, in this whole time since I have, you know, since I found out that I was pregnant, I wasn't feeling good. My cervix was really tender, so Nick and I tried to BD once, and it was really tender, so I thought, you know, I'm just going to give it a little while before we try to BD again, so we literally only did it once. So I took a pregnancy test yesterday morning, and it was positive. And let me tell you, it was not a faint positive. The test line was darker than the control line. So I was freaking out because in my medical experience, obviously you don't get periods when you're pregnant. Bleeding, 98% of the time, if you're bleeding as much as I was, it will indicate a miscarriage. The only other time that you bleed that much is in an ectopic pregnancy. So I was freaking out. So I went into the emergency room where I work and checked in as a patient and told them I think I'm having an ectopic pregnancy. And so they immediately got me over to ultrasound. So I'm sitting in ultrasound, and they're doing it. Nick is there with me. And, he didn't really tilt the screen towards me, so I couldn't see. Okay, baby. I couldn't see what was going on. I was kind of trying to get a look, but I didn't see anything. I didn't see a sac or a fetal pole or anything like that in my uterus. Then he went over to both fallopian tubes, and I didn't see anything there. Now, of course, the guy is not telling me anything. He said that we have to wait for the doctor to tell. So he even listened. He put the Doppler up to my uterus and see if he could hear a heartbeat, and he couldn't. And so whatever. Then I went back into the room with the doctor, and the doctor said, well, I explained to him my whole story. And he said they didn't see anything in the uterus, but they also didn't see anything in the tubes, which is good. And he said it's probably too early to see anything anyway, so they can't completely rule out an ectopic, but they can't completely rule out an intrauterine pregnancy also. So I said, well, what would explain the bleeding that I had? Because that was a period, like it was a painful period. And he said what probably happened is I started out with twins and miscarried one of them, which is, it's not common, but it does happen. So I asked what my levels were. I said, my levels weren't rising as they should. And he goes, well, your levels, the first levels that they took were 198, and the second levels that they took 30 minutes later were 217. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know. How, mathematically how it's working out right now is my levels are doubling every 71 hours. And they say between 48 and 72 hours is normal. So I'm not getting my hopes up for this pregnancy. But it's not all bad news just yet. We have to wait. I'm going to go in on Friday when I work and get my levels drawn again and see if they're doubling. I don't know. Maybe I just had a slow start. I don't know. It's just with the dates and the numbers and everything, they're just not matching up. And so I'm praying. My parents are praying. I did tell my mom and my grandparents. So they are keeping me in their prayers. If you guys could just keep me in your prayers, please, because I just don't know right now. At this point, we're so unsure about everything. And so if you guys could just keep me in your prayers, I'd really appreciate it. And I promise as soon as I find out what is going on with my body and my pregnancy, I will let you know for sure. So, anyway, girls, I'm going to go because I'm almost at Austin's daycare. So, I will keep you updated. Talk to you later. Bye.